So a couple little print things I want to drive down a rabbit hole with you. So follow. What we're going to talk about is the intro to a couple things. Door knocking is one. And full disclaimer, a lot of municipalities and a lot of towns have licenses and solicitation licenses, etc. As you continue to grow, highly recommend that you go do all of that so that when your salespeople go out, they're properly licensed and they're doing their job correctly. But from a guerrilla tactics perspective, if you're providing service, let's just say it's a tree company to somebody's house, right? Here's the house that you're servicing. I'm just going to draw it like a survey. Here's house one, and then there's 10 houses this way, and there's 10 houses this way on the street, right? Have the guys doing the operations, which they're also your salespeople because they're professionally representing you in the environment and you may not be there. Or if it's just you, that's fine too. Go and drop those 10 cards, just business cards, or just a flyer that's all professionally done, right? Maybe it matches your trucks a little bit, or it's on the same branding as you're getting started. Something that Ron was talking about with me earlier in the success of his companies is the immediate neighbors right here, very immediate, right? Especially tree service or maybe installing generators or electric services. Could get a little noisy. There might be stuff flying around, all kinds of things, even roofing too. So physically going to knock on these two neighbors' doors to say, hey, I'm blah, blah, blah from XYZ Services. Wanted to apologize in advance in case any noise or disturbance is caused. If there are any issues, here's my card, give us a call. You're being very proactive, which is awesome. You're being very respectful and ethical, double awesome. But you also just mildly pitch them, and now they're thinking about, well, if they're providing tree service here and the trees are right on my sign on the side of the yard, maybe we could do trees from them too. So think of that as you're out in a neighborhood of you're always advertising. Those trucks are always advertising. Every shirt, everything that you're doing is always in the public perception, especially in home services in a residential neighborhood. Something else to think about is direct mail. We'll talk about that a little bit more in depth as we go along, but from a bonus perspective, direct mail is a really good way to get started once you get a little bit of money and you want to talk to specific income level or a specific demographic of people. So we're going to pick a company that wants to service high-end residential couples making over XYZ $1,000 a year and live in XYZ zip codes. Now you'll have to know that about your neighborhood, which is why the being of the mayor of your own town concept works really well, because you know your neighborhood and those big companies don't know anything about it. So that's where you can win. We think about this. How do we do direct mail? You go to the post office, you go online, and you can actually look up how much it would cost to send postcards, mailers, etc. to each one of the homes in those zip codes that fit your demographic. So if it's married couples with an average income of over $150,000 a year, living in 15 zip codes, the post office is able to give you XYZ percentage for the postage to send that out. Now you'll still have to go get all the print material made, have it designed, and drop it off, but they take care of the rest. And there's a lot of agencies out there, not marketing agencies, but there's direct mail agencies as you get a little bit bigger to help you automate that whole process. That same concept for the direct mail applies to the door knocking concept, and we call that geofencing. I'm not going to get into what that means, but hypothetically, if you're working inside of an office building and you want to target everybody in that office building, let's just say for commercial janitorial services, you can then geofence that office and send ads to only people inside of that office using those kinds of companies. It's an extremely targeted, with a little bit of guerrilla tactics way of getting yourself in the door while you're already on site of a client that's trusted you, believes in your competence, and is giving you money for a great service you're providing. After you get that happy review, that's even something better to put on for industrial complexes, office complexes, community HOAs, etc., as that's that local like, know, and trust of the neighborhood name that you want to build for yourself and your businesses. So that's a little bit about direct mail and some door knocking and other guerrilla tactics for your marketing.